good day, and welcome to Trusting God at All Times, a daily devotion of Peakland United Methodist Church in Lynchburg, Virginia. My name's John Vest. I'm the pastor here at the church. I have something in common with NASCAR driver Mark Martin. In the latter part of his career, Mark Martin became a mentor of sorts to younger race car drivers. Some of them stayed with Roush, now Roush Fenway Racing, and advanced to the highest levels of their sport, and others left the company to pursue their fortune with other car drivers. But it was not at all uncommon for a young driver to mention Mark Martin as a mentor in both driving skill and attitude toward winning and attitude toward losing. The thing I have in common with Mark Martin is this. When asked what made him a good mentor, he replied, "Because I have already made all the mistakes myself." Yep, we are brothers in the trenches when it comes to that. I remember a time early in the ministry entrusted to me when the big issue was worship preparation on Sunday morning. Now I was raised to be respectful. Stand when someone approaches you. Take your hat off when indoors. Certainly when in church. Respect your elders for no other reason but that they are your elders. It's that sort of thing. So when I entered a sanctuary on Sunday morning, I still do. That seems to me that it's a holy experience, a holy place. The focus is on God. You whisper in the sanctuary if you have to talk at all. No superfluous actions, no foolishness, no shenanigans. So I was disturbed by the seeming ruckus that went on at the first church or two I served as a young preacher. People came in, and they were loud. They called to one another from across the room. They acted like they hadn't seen one another in at least a week. Where was godly worship and all of that? Where was the preparation? And then I heard this story. A young minister got annoyed with activities like these within his congregation, and he preached a rather pointed sermon on how to behave when worshiping God, essentially scolding the congregation for not acting church-like enough. Now, fortunately for him, the congregation he was serving understood that while he was their pastor, their ministry was to train young pastors, to be their testing ground, and they took that role quite seriously. At the end of the morning, one of the lay leaders of the church took the young man aside and told him, "Pastor, I understand what you're trying to do today. I really do, and it has merit, but let me tell you what I don't think you know. Brother Thomas, his milk cow tore through the pasture fence yesterday and cut a long gash in her udder. The vet came out, and she's going to have to lay low for several days to heal. Now, that's the only milk cow Thomas has for his family. I happen to know that Daniel has 3 or 4 milk cows, and he's actually having some trouble getting the hay he needs to feed all of them. So I went to Daniel when I saw him at church this morning, explained the situation to him, and asked if Thomas could borrow one of those cows for a few days until his cow healed. And of course, Daniel said yes. I then went to Thomas, and I told him Daniel had a cow for him and how he and his family didn't have to worry about what to do next. You see, Pastor, I couldn't really concentrate on worshiping God this morning, knowing that there was a problem like that I could fix. But once I fixed it, my mind was clear, my heart was clean, and I could worship my Maker." The pastor got the point. Indeed, he understood that a great amount of godly worship had taken place before the service ever really began. And I know every pastor worth his or her salt has a congregation like that who help them along the way. Church isn't really as hard as we sometimes make it out to be, is it? So let it be. Amen.